The story of the Étendard began because Marcel Dassault and his technical general director, Henri Deplante, were unhappy with the decisions of the French Air Command. Dassault Aviation developed the excellent Ouragan and the Mystere for their country, but that didn't stop officials from also procuring the American F-86 and F-100. More importantly, in 1950, there wasn't a single French combat aircraft operating from the sole aircraft carrier of the French Navy, a total domination of American technology. The problem was that the Navy needed a highly versatile, carrier-borne strike fighter aircraft that would be equally effective against targets in the air, on the ground, and at sea. Developing such a vehicle was no easy task, and unlike France, the US had already developed aircraft that fit the bill perfectly. We can only assume what exactly the hot-tempered founder of Dassault Aviation said to French officials when they came to him for consultation. But we have the exact quote from the equally angry Deplante. The task is simple. We just need to build a better carrier-based fighter than the US. You have to give credit where credit is due. Dassault and Deplante were monstrously hardworking. Using the Super Mystere as a starting point, they quickly outlined two different concepts for their future aircraft. One of them was the Mirage, a land-based fighter featuring a delta wing and an airborne radar. The second was the Étendard II, a prototype for a carrier-borne fighter bomber. It had the same wing arrangement as the Mystere, but received a new fuselage and brand new avionics. In the end, the prototype was rejected in favor of the Mirage 3, but that wasn't a big deal. After all, it was the French Navy that Dassault Aviation wanted to impress. There was still a lot of work left to do before the aircraft could be accepted into production, but the foundation was already set in place. Furthermore, the engine designers at SNCMA gave the project a significant boost by developing the Étendard turbojet. The incredible speed at which the project was advancing came as a shock to allies across the pond. But the secret was pretty simple. People involved in the project were a very close-knit group. As witnessed by the British specialists that helped to test the Étendard, it wasn't just engineers that could come to Dassault and Deplante at any time. Even simple workers had unfettered access to the people at the helm, and the management worked shoulder to shoulder with them on a daily basis. Finally, the Étendard 4 was fitted with foldable wings and other adaptations required for maritime operation, and then was quickly accepted into production. French naval pilots were pretty happy with it as it was, but engineers kept upgrading and introducing new variants of the Étendard. For instance, thanks to their efforts, the aircraft was soon equipped with air-to-surface missiles. As a result, the only American competitor of the Étendard that was accepted into service by the French Navy was the Crusader II, developed by Chance Vought. And it was specifically the air superiority fighter version that the French wanted to have, just to be on the safe side. The time went on and new technologies emerged. There were new conflicts in the Middle East. The Vietnam War raged on for years, and the sky was full of new, more advanced aircraft. The Corsair, the Intruder, the Phantom, those were the names that were known all around the world, and for good reason. Each of those was better than the Étendard in basically every aspect. It was time for Dassault engineers to get to work again. After all, the Navy was already looking for a replacement for this aging naval fighter. A huge Anglo-French military aircraft program, Sepicat, was created for this specific reason. This manufacturer was developing the Jaguar, a brand new jet attack aircraft that could fly in the tactical nuclear strike role. But Dassault used every trick at his disposal, all the leverage he could muster to prevent foreign designs from making it aboard French aircraft carriers. He claimed that his company could create a brand new carrier-based bomber fighter and a new carrier-based interceptor all on its own. And he was absolutely right, as the radically improved Super Etendard was ready to make its maiden flight in as early as 1974. The newcomer gave an instant confidence boost to the French Navy and also attracted some interest from buyers abroad. It was a radical new design that had access to a wide variety of unguided munitions and could operate a range of laser-guided bombs as well. The aircraft served the Navy well, It became the symbol of the naval air arm and outlived most contemporary designs of the same class. It was 2016 when the Étendard was finally retired and replaced with the Rafale, a multi-role carrier-based fighter which belonged to a completely different era. The brainchild of Dassault and Deplante never became as ubiquitous as its American counterparts, of course. But does that mean that it was any less impressive? We don't think so.